What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a very long time since I made a video, but yeah, I've just been going, I think I explained to you guys, I've been going through a lot, just moving from Tampa to back to Jacksonville. So it's been a lot going on with me moving. Within the past month, I've been to Tampa like back and forth like 3 times, and I have to go back like next weekend, I think. Yeah, next weekend, because my friends are graduating and they invited me to their graduation. So pretty much, what do you do now if you get dismissed or kicked out of your nursing program? I'm not an expert. I don't know what to tell you. I have a degree in psychology, but I'm not gonna give you advice about something that I haven't been through myself. Meaning that if I didn't go through this, if you guys haven't been following my journey, I wouldn't know what to do. So if you kind of get what I'm saying, after you get dismissed, everybody's path is different. You may want to go back to nursing school, you may want to do something different, but I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. I also know somewhat of what it takes to get back into a nursing school somewhere else, but as far as like the journey of nursing, I'm done with it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs. Could you run that by me again?
As far as like the journey of nursing, I'm done with it.
That's what I thought you said. Now let me offer this as a rebuttal.
That is about it for me with nursing. I'm not going any further. 6 months was enough for me, and I didn't enjoy that 6 months. So that's that. To let me explain before I jump into what I'm going to do from this point on, so you guys kind of understand before I jump into explaining to you guys what my next path is. So I'm a planner, and I like to have things not set in stone, but I like to see it written down, and I like to pretty much have a plan in my head. I always have to have a plan for something. So once I got dismissed from my program, I got dismissed twice or denied twice. So in between that time where I got dismissed the first time and when I was writing my petition to submit the second time, I talked to my old director, and he was like, oh, so if you don't get accepted back into the program the second time, what do you think you're gonna do? I was like, oh, I have a few friends that have told me about PA school, and I'm looking into doing that. And they both, like, there was a lady from like something having to do with the handbook or something, and my old director and her face, they were like, PA school, that's a totally different direction. And I'm like, it's a master's degree, but it's still in medical. Is not much of a different direction, other than the fact that I can do a whole lot more than what your nurses are gonna be able to do. So after that, I was just like, I was kind of questioning why they said it the way they said it. So it's just like, I mean, I don't know why they did that, but that's besides the point, and I'm not too hung up on it to worry about what they were thinking. Because I don't know if you guys have been following me throughout my journey from FIU until this point, but I honestly don't care what people think. So yeah, that was that. So after that encounter, I was still kind of hung up on nursing school, and I was like, nursing has always been my dream, whatever. And I wasn't really looking into PA school as much as I should have been. So once I got denied the second time, I kind of cried a little bit, but it was like I wasn't looking for sympathy from people. that same day that I found out, I had to like quit my job. Everything pretty much just went like rock bottom, and I was like, this is not it for me. I'm not done. Okay, so now you really have to look into going to PA school, because within that 6-month span, I didn't know what a physician assistant was, which is a PA. I didn't know what it was until I got into my summer semester of nursing school. In the pediatric ICU, I met a physician assistant. So then when the doctor came around to do rounds, like the PA was reading everything to the doctor, and the physician would tell the PA, order this, do this, do this. And I was like, who is this lady? At the time, I didn't know she was a PA until I looked at her badge. Because the way their badges are set up is that it has like their credentials in big bold letters. So like a PA would be PA, and then in tiny letters underneath it, it would be physician assistant. For a nurse, it would be RN, and then it would say registered nurse under it, and then doctors, whatever, so on and so on. So I didn't know what a PA was, and I was like, okay, who is she? What does she do? Like, I'm going through nursing school, and to me, some nurses talk so bad about CNAs or PCTs or PCAs, and it's like, if you really think about it, nurses are only a little bit above of PCA, CNA, PCT. Nurses do the grunt work of every single person on top of them. And I've always been the type of person throughout my whole life where I just don't like, not that I don't like working, but because I know I have to do it, I just don't like having to report to so many people. I don't like being underneath people. I always like being, not trying to be a step above somebody or feel like I'm better than somebody, but I like to be the boss. So that was my thing with nursing. I'm just like, as a nurse, you have to think about so much. You have to do therapeutic communication. You have to know how to talk to the patient. You have to know what to say and what not to say, because you can't tell a patient, if you know a patient is HIV positive or they have pneumonia, you can't tell them that. You have to wait until the doctor comes and tell them that and gives them their diagnosis. And then once they have that diagnosis, after it comes out of the doctor's mouth or it's in the computer, then you can say, oh yeah, you have pneumonia, the doctor said this, this, and this. So it's just like, nurses can't do shit. And I didn't like that. Like, once during the summer we got to go into the OR, I love the OR, and I was just like, okay, this is what I want to do. But after I looked at what a nurse does in the OR, it's like they literally don't do anything. They just sit there and they're on the computer in the EMR and they watch. Like, I'm like, no, I want to be up there with the doctor. I want to be handing the doctor tools. I want to be like the right hand man to the doctor in the surgery. I don't want to just watch. Like, to me that's boring, because after you are with a certain surgeon for a certain amount of time, it's like you see the same surgeries over and over, so it's kind of not interesting to you anymore. So I was just like, maybe nursing just isn't for me. Like, I'm glad I got to go through that experience to be able to come to this epiphany or this reconciliation that nursing just isn't where I need to be in the medical field. I mean, nursing takes a lot of service to give to a lot of people, not just the patient, but to the doctor, to the surgeons, to the nurse practitioners, to the pharmacists, to physical therapy. And it's like so much that nurses do, and I commend the ones that are doing it and going through school for it, but that's just not for me. Like, I cannot do that much grunt work and not get paid for what I'm worth. To me, nurses in Florida don't get paid for what they're worth. If I wanted to do something like that, I would have to move to California, and I know nobody out there. I have no family out there. I have family in many different states, but not California. So after all of that debacle, I was like, okay, now I need to look for PA schools. So I'm looking for PA schools, and of course, USF has a PA school. And I'm like, okay. But I really don't want to go back to Tampa. I have family that I could probably stay with if I decide to apply to Tampa and I get accepted. But at this point, like, I'm really gung-ho on UF. I feel like all the schools that I've applied to, God has given me the ability to attend there. I applied to FIU, found a loophole to get around their curriculum system to get into there. I applied to USF, got put on the wait list for nursing school. God told me to be patient, and I got into USF. And now I said I never wanted to go to the University of Florida because I never wanted to go to a school that my parents attended and graduated from. But my dad went to UF and graduated with his degree in business from there. But UF is the cheapest out of all the PA schools in Florida. It's only 30 to 45 minutes away from Jacksonville, as well as I wouldn't have to pay for housing because I would just have to make that sacrifice and travel and commute from here to Gainesville, which I don't have a problem with because, like I said, at this point I just want to get in where I fit in, and I have all of the prerequisites that UF requires. But they have a whole list of classes that you can take to kind of boost your it's almost like boosting your resume that you submit whenever you submit like all the classes that you've ever taken with your GPA. And I also want to get my GPA up. I graduated from FIU with a 3.79. I don't know if a GPA can go higher than a 4.0 in college. Probably unweighted it can, but I don't know. But like I said, I'm really gung-ho on going to UF, so I'm doing what I gotta do to get to where I want to be. And like I said, during the whole process with going to USF, God told me to be patient, and I'm still being patient to this moment. I'm taking a year off from now until the next cycle when they're accepting students for their PA school. I'm taking a year off to get my hours up. UF also doesn't require that you have direct patient contact hours or hospital hours, but of course, like I said, it helps boost your resume. It looks a lot better than someone who's applying and doesn't have any type of experience. So right now I am working as a medical scribe. I'm usually someone that goes in with the doctor, and I sit at the computer. The doctor focuses on you. The doctor does not focus on anything on the computer other than if he has to sign to order your prescriptions. That's about it. So, I mean, I have hours from nursing school. I have hours from being a behavioral therapist down in Miami. So, UF asks that you have 2,000 hours. Some schools ask that you have 1,000. Because I'm going to be working for a year, I pretty much have about 300 to 500 hours already gained. So it'll make it a little bit easier for me to reach that goal. But my full plan is to go to school, work, and yeah, get all of this stuff situated, because when I go, I definitely will probably be the youngest person in the cohort again, because their average age that they accept for a master's degree is like 25, 26. I'll be 25 when I graduate, I think, because the program is 2 years. And that's another thing about PA school, is that it's so much more structured. Oh my goodness, when I tell you the structure of PA school, because it's a master's degree, they don't play either. The structure of that school is so much better than an accelerated nursing program. I hated that with nursing. It was so unstructured, like it was all over the place, and USF was still trying to figure stuff out. They were still trying to make the program as best as they could, and it was like we were the guinea pigs, and I hated that. We had, during the summer, I don't know if I talked to you guys about this in the video before this one, me explaining my dismissal, but during the summer we had class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then we had clinic Tuesday and Thursday. And it's like, how do you expect me to study when you got me in class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then you have me in clinic on Tuesday and Thursday from 6 a.m. to what, 4 p.m. So it's almost like you got me working, you got me volunteering, because I don't get paid for this shit, to be in the hospital. You got me volunteering to be in the hospital on Tuesday and Thursday for 10 hours, and then you got me in school from 8 to 4, and you only give me a 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hour break in between all of these classes you want me to focus on. I didn't understand how they thought that was gonna work, and I'm just like, I'm too young for this shit. Like, accelerated nursing was trying to determine my life, and I hated nursing. I hated it. So, but yeah, I'm going to PA school, going to be a physician assistant. I can pretty much do everything a doctor can do. The only thing that I can't do is open my own private practice, which I never wanted to do because of all of the malpractice stuff and this, that, and third. I don't want to do that. I thought I wanted to have my own practice, but no, I'm good. I'm Gucci. And the only thing with being a physician assistant is that I always have to be with a physician who can like review my stuff and agree with it. And that's fine with me. I only have to report to one person, and that's it. I'm fine with that. And I can still travel as a physician assistant. I can still do everything that I wanted to do with nursing, but more. And I mapped out the timeline that it would have taken me to get my master's in nursing, and when I tell you, it's almost like having to go to medical school. So this video is really long, but I'm going to try and make this little timeline spiel short so I can cut it off. I would have graduated in May of 2019. So it would have taken me a year to work in acute care, because applying to any job in labor and delivery, you have to have experience in acute care. So I had to have at least a year to 2 years experience in acute care. So that would have been 2020, 2021, depending on where I apply. Then after that, I have to work in labor and delivery to get the experience in order to apply to get my master's in midwifery. So 2020, 2021, I would apply for a job in labor and delivery. Then I would have to work there for another 1 to 2 years. So 2021, 2022, in that range. After that, I have to go to get my master's in midwifery for another 1.5 to 2 years. So I would have been in school until 2024. Yeah, my camera just died again. But 2024 is way too long. 2025 is way too long when I can just go and get my master's in PA, do everything that I want to do within my first year of working, and I'll be done in 2022, in 3 years. So yeah, my camera has died like for the 3rd time, and I've gone through 3 batteries, and this one is about to die. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.